Hey, do you think group piano lessons are as good as private? Or how do group piano lessons work? Well, today you're in for a treat. I'm Kay Lowry, and my guest today is Dorla Aparicio, and I am so excited to talk to her about group piano. So, welcome to the channel, Dorla.
Thank you, Kay, for inviting me. Love spending time with you, so this is a treat.
Dorla and I met through Facebook, right?
Yeah,
We
that's
did.
correct.
And then we met in person and
Mhm.
we hung out, and that was the best. So anytime I can hang out with Dorla, I am going to learn something. You're going to learn something too. If you stick to the end of this video, there might be something free for you,
Mhm.
and you're going to learn something that will inspire you or educate you about group lessons. So hang with us. I think Dorla is one of the most brilliant minds in piano pedagogy today. She is innovative and she reaches out to teachers. She's been teaching, let me just read a little bit, for like 30 years to students and teachers. And she's figured out what really works best and finds the solutions to all the problems that we have, the workarounds, the tips, the tricks. Dorla is your person for all of those things. She's got a hybrid piano studio, a boutique piano studio that gives children a unique musical experience. And she's created a very cool thing we're going to hear about called Piano Pyramid. So I'm going to give you some more stuff about Dorla in the description at the end of this video, but we're going to chat a little bit and then you're going to see some of her stuff. So hang with us. All right, here we go. Dorla, you are very busy. So my first question to you is, what's a typical working day like for Miss Dorla?
Oh, wow. So I don't like to use the term workaholic, but I have been called that. And I teach my groups starting around 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I teach about 3 to 4 hours, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's why I love group piano because
That's
I
not
can teach
bad.
my 50 students in just about what 16 17 hours. um, and I have a few private students,
Yeah.
but the rest of the day, because I teach in groups, I have been able to do other projects. So Piano Pyramid is one that I've been working on, and it takes up a lot of time. um, Trying to grow my business takes up a lot of time. Okay, today's quarterly taxes are due today, so I spent a lot of time this morning trying to remember. Now, how did I do that last quarter? So, a lot of things like that take up a lot of my time. So, I don't know. My family usually asks me when will I stop working, because I just don't teach. I do a lot of other things also.
Yeah,
So
it's
the whole
busy
day
like
is
from
work.
this when the sun comes up, I feel like I'm hitting the ground. I'm walking my dog, but I'm thinking piano when I'm
Yes.
walking. And then it's like you said, all day long. And then after teaching, I'm pretty beat. I collapse. I don't know about you. It's a long day. It
Yeah, it
really
is
is.
very long day. Yes.
Yeah. You have created a ton of resources and tips about group teaching. So you've even done piano camps, which I hope we talk about in a minute. Why did you start creating these resources?
I think I was looking for something that would work for my studio. And I love teaching. And so when I use different curriculums, I'd find that I would be, tweaking here and there. And then eventually you're like, instead of tweaking, because I love writing curriculums, it was easy for me to just figure out how do I really want to do this. And then I thought, I'm sure there's other teachers that would like to do it too. So
Yeah,
then I
and
began
there
to.
are. There are lots of teachers that are enjoying your resources. So you've been teaching piano for over 30 years. Can you tell us how you got started in piano and what were you like as a piano student?
Oh, I was terrible at note reading. I remember, so I started piano with no piano. My mom had a paper piano that she would put on her bed, and she would help me practice because she played piano. Um, and then we would go to my lesson, but I remember just being clueless about note reading. And my teacher did not allow me to play by ear, which I wanted to do, and that was a no-no.
Mm.
So finally it clicked. In college, I was a okay student, and I started teaching. I think when I was in high school, and yeah, I mean, I've loved learning to play the piano. So, but I just remember not being really good at note reading when I was little.
So, you know what I take away from that, Miss Dorla? I take away that when we have students as teachers and we're trying to work with them on something, if it's note reading or rhythm, for me it was rhythm. Oh, I
Mm,
was horrible at rhythm. To not lose heart
yeah,
because your student might be a Miss Dorla someday. You never know, do not give up and just be patient.
be patient, and
So,
it clicks differently for different students. So I like to tell the parents, if you parent do not get discouraged with their speed of learning, it's going to work out. It always does.
that's a great, great thing to tell parents. So, hope you guys are listening to that bit of advice. So, you seem like you've had a successful career so far, but I'm sure there've been kind of rough times. You've had to balance family and work, and I know that you homeschooled at
Mm.
one point and wrote homeschool curriculum. So, can you tell us about anything that was maybe a little difficult or hard during those years?
Um, I don't know. Kind of looking back, I mean, it's all that I did is done. I did it. Yes, I homeschooled my son through all of his schooling. His first time in public school was when he went to college. Um, I even had a middle school here at my studio when he was in middle school. Um, and so I think that when I'm going through it, doing all the things, yeah, I think it's hard. I don't like to give up, but I have an amazing family, supportive family, that all the crazy ideas of things that I've wanted to do, they've been 100% supportive. Some of them 80%, but you know, they've always been there for me. And my husband always supports every single idea. And so that has made it be not hard.
Yeah, if you have the support system, it's just so important. Not just family, but other teachers as well. And I hope you feel the support of teachers now because we
Many
love you.
teachers, yeah. And many friends, my close friends, have always been supportive of the things that I come up with. And of course, now that I'm online a lot, I have a lot of really good friends online also.
Yes. So, one of the things that you really pioneered, as far as I am concerned, is multi level groups. And so, this is just blows people's mind. And can you explain what multi level is and how does it work?
Okay, so multi-level teaching or multi-level piano, group piano, has been around for a while. The difference is that they've been doing it with headphones on for the whole time. What I do differently and what I encourage group piano teachers to do is to do it out loud. So think about a group of fourth graders. They have not had piano before. You get them together, you're going to teach them from the very beginning. In 6 weeks, they're all going to be at a different place
Mm.
because they practice differently, they learn differently, they just interact differently. So, my thinking is instead of waiting for those individual that individual progress that they're going to make, and then trying to figure out, well, what am I going to do now? I want to open it up to beginning to intermediate to early intermediate level and put them together. So even if I start those third, fourth graders and they start to branch out, I have a system in place where they can branch out without having to move to another day, another class, or me constantly trying to find new music to give them. Because I need to be in control of that group to be able to reach the goals that I have for them.
Right. Yeah. So,
So,
as I understand it, the piano pyramid is really brilliant because kids can slide kind of up
yes.
or maybe down or stay the
Or
same.
stay the same, yes.
And the other brilliant thing that you might speak to is the scheduling aspect, which is
Mhm.
actually so hard. So,
Yes.
why is multi level just the bomb.com for scheduling?
So, I work at something like this. 4:30, I have one group of preschoolers. 5 o'clock, come another group, kind of like 7 to 8 year old. 6 o'clock are 8 to 11 year olds, or 11 to 14. And I have that on each day that I teach. So if a parent comes and says, we can come Wednesday, what do you have for Wednesday? Well, depending on the age of your child, I have different offerings that you can all come on Wednesday. But also, if you have a 9 and an 11-year-old, they can be in the same class.
Mm, there you go.
So that really helped. Also, it helps with makeup lessons. I do not offer makeup lessons, but I don't keep repeating that to parents. Parents will say, well, I can't come this day. We have a sporting event. I have many students that are, school athletes. So I am happy to say, you can come on this other day at this time, or this other day, because we're doing the same thing in all of our group lessons. And
Right.
so they can automatically have a makeup without me having to teach at an additional time. It works really well.
Brilliant, brilliant. Just
Yes.
swap times. And I don't know about you, but parents are always asking me to swap times.
Mhm.
And so it is just completely, it's a win-win for
Yes.
everybody, for
Let me add
student.
something else. In this age of technology, um, I've done the hybrid where, like yesterday, many had a birthday party. Of course, they didn't tell me, but the person that was giving the birthday party is a good friend. So she had said, many of your students are not going to be coming on Wednesday because we have a birthday party. So I was expecting this to happen, but I got text, Miss Dorla, can we be online for our group lesson? And I said, well, of course, yes, you may. And so they just popped in, had their lesson, and then they could go to their party. And also, a third option I have is the virtual piano studio that I've shared with you before. And there's a video of what we do in class. Well, not exactly what we do in class, but of the song that we're learning. It's on there. So if you didn't make it to class or to online, you can go there and still learn your music and be on track. So all of those things help with scheduling.
Yes, it's really brilliant. The student, the parent, and the teacher are all happy. Everybody is great, and the learning still keeps going on.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Very
using
important.
technology, using flexible scheduling, it's
Mhm.
just the parents have got to be so happy to be in your studio.
Well, they haven't complained, and I know they use all of these things, so I believe they're happy.
And I did want to mention that recently you were on a podcast, the Topcast, which is internationally known, and you were on with several other group piano teachers. And you talked about other ways besides multi level piano. And specifically, I think your younger students,
Mhm.
you use a little different approach. So, can you tell us about that?
Yes. So now that I have um, about 20 preschool, well, I call it a primer age, 4 to 8, I can divide them into different groups. But when I started, I only had three. And I did those three, and then I moved them up, to different books until they got into the multi-level group. But I like to divide them into 4 to 6. I'm sorry, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8.
Mm.
And that way, every year that they come back, they know they're going to be doing a different book. They're going to be doing something different. We know that at this age, we are repeating the same thing, but
Mm.
we can repeat it each time with a different book, and they're going to be more mature each time. So my 4-year-olds right now learning left hand and right hand, and it seems like we do that every time, every week. But my next class, the 5 to 6, we mentioned right and left. They still don't remember as well, but I can now layer it with something else.
Cool.
Whereas my 4-year-olds were still singing right hand, left hand.
Yeah, so you're just nurturing those little babies along
Yes.
until they get to the point of being ready for the piano pyramid and the multi-level.
Right. But I want them to be able to sing on pitch and to have steady beat. It's very important that if they do that in early childhood age, then when we get to putting that instrument that you have to read and play and dynamics, articulation, then at least those things are in place and works well.
That's so cool. That is so cool. So we've talked, oh, wait a minute. I want to not get ahead of myself.
Okay.
One of the other things that you want to talk about is online group lessons. And I'm all ears because I'm an online teacher. So do
Mhm.
you have any suggestions for a purely online group?
Yes, mindset.
Mm,
If you are upset, overwhelmed, frustrated that your group cannot play online, then you're not going to get it done because that cannot happen right now unless we all have certain things in place with technology, which I do not want to require my students to do. So you need to find different ways that your students can be online together and you can teach your lesson, listen to them play, grade them, have fun, play games, and forget about not being able to play together. That's the biggest issue. Now, what will you do to replace that? Well, mute all of them. They can hear you while you play with them, and they are hearing a duet.
right.
Have the students do the same thing. I mute myself with 5 of the other students. Now, student A is unmuted, and he or she are the leader. Okay. And then I can hear how well they're keeping the beat, if they're playing correct notes. Everybody else has to stay on track and play with them. So it's like a solo within an ensemble. Okay. So we other times we can do a chain playing. So you play 4 measures, next student plays another 4 measures. And this is going to be tricky because there's a lag.
Right.
But once you get used to doing it, the students get used to listening and knowing when to start. You kind of direct and help them out. It works. It works.
Yeah, I like those ideas. And I've even used that chain playing with improv. Like
Yes.
I'll just play something and then I'll say improv something,
Yeah.
you know. And I never thought we would do improvisation online, but it really works.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
does. Anything that you do in your in-person lesson, you can do online. You just have to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, you just have to use your savviness to
Yes.
figure out a workaround.
Yeah.
So, love that.
Instead of being frustrated that it doesn't work.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, well, what is your most popular resource now? What are teachers just dying to have?
Well, I don't know about dying to have, but very popular is musical STEM. Oops.
Ooh, I love musical
You
STEM.
you
This
used it, yeah. And
lifesaver. I can't wait to do it again.
piano, it's a piano camp. where we make experiments. And really, what we're doing is harmonizing the world of music and the world of science. And of course, there's math in there also, and engineering, and all of that is connected with music in different ways. And so that's what those lessons are about. You can't buy it right now because it's what we call old now. It's like 4 years old. So I took it down from the store because I am updating it to include new resources in it, and it will be available next year.
All right, keep watching out for that. And guys, that is so cool.
It
And
is.
another thing I got to mention here is that Dorla has several camps and they all have, or you can grab this resource. There is a way to make them virtual.
Yeah.
And that is brilliant how you've done that with your camps, especially during the past few years. It's been a lifesaver. You can also do it in person. So
Yes.
there's so many different ways that you can reach the world with
Yeah.
music in that way.
So the piano camps, I call them piano camps because that's how I started using them. We would have 1 week of only piano camp in the summer. I don't do that anymore. So this year with Pura Vida, which is my latest piano camp, that one, um, I did it in just my regular weekly lessons. So our theme for the summer was the music of Costa Rica. That's where I was born. And so what I did was I created the resource so you could do it with multi-level group piano. And so there's individual books, each level has a separate book, and then but you can also all play together. And it has 8 weeks of lessons that you can do online, hybrid, or in person. And that one, Kate, is on sale for, well, for anyone that's listening. And that one's in my store. That's
All
the only
right.
piano camp I have there right now, since all the other ones are being edited.
We'll give you guys the link to that one so that you can grab it. Right now, let's see, September of 2022. So if you're listening to this later, still test out the link. But this is gonna be fabulous. And I've seen online many teachers using these resources and posting how much fun their kids are having. So
Yeah,
I love
on
those.
my Instagram and my Facebook page has my kids playing from my 4-year-olds up to my teenagers, um, playing the music of Pura Vida. It was so much fun to do that with them.
Yes. Cool. So cool. There are lots of other resources that you have. Um, where can people share and find out about you? If they're looking for you online, where can they go?
MissDorla.com. MissDorla. Yeah,
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we're almost done. But let's do my lightning round. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Tea, she says.
Well, because coffee, I love coffee, but it makes me sick now, so tea.
Okay. Tea is a happier place for you. All
Yeah.
right. Sweet or salty?
Both together, please.
That's good. Classical or jazz?
Oh, that's another one that ooh,
Your sons are jazz
jazz.
musicians.
Jazz. I'm not a jazz musician. Maybe that's why I'll go with jazz first. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Best teacher you ever had?
Mm. Ooh. Okay. I can't just pick one. My college piano professor was awesome, Evelyn Mariani. But then my graduate school professor was also amazing, Judith Solomon. So
It's so hard.
different stages, different preferences.
Right. Do you have a favorite brand of piano?
Oh, Steinway. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't have a Steinway, but I would love to, yeah.
What's your recommendation for group piano teaching for digital pianos?
Oh, let's see, I have the Roland, well, Roland. I
Yeah.
can't remember the name, the number, and mine are older. There's a Yamaha P145. I don't know if they still make that model, but those are good. Those are ones that I have. The Yamaha Clavinova also is like for a teacher piano.
Yes.
Those are all great. Yeah.
Oh, great ones. Do you have a fun or impactful musical memory?
Um, Going to concerts with my son.
Mm, so fun. So fun
It's
sharing.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
Definitely. Do you have another project that you can hint to us about?
Yeah. Well, Piano Pyramid is. I'm getting it to where it can be published. Right now, it's only digital.
Oh,
And so I have the books here. We're doing like the different books for each level. So book one is almost finished. Part Teachers have been buying part one, which is enough for one semester. Um, I am finalizing part two. Hopefully, it's ready for January, and then we have book two and book three that are being edited and working on. The theory pages included. It's a mammoth job, but it's you know it's a vision that I've had, and I'm happy to get it done.
that is so cool. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And if you've made it this far in the video, we want you to know that we have a free gift for you. So, what I want you to do is two things: go to the comments section and type free group gift. Okay, free grouped gift. And then go to the description below this video, and the first link that you see is going to be a link that will take you to that free gift that Dorla wants to give you. It's an ebook and a 6-part ensemble.
Yep.
So you are in for a treat. So remember, comment below free group gift, and while you're there, just tell us if you're interested in group piano. If there's something about it or a question, we'd love to know. And then after you type that in the comments, hit that link and you will be all set. Thanks, Dorla, for being here and talking to us about group piano.
You're very welcome. Thanks for inviting me, Kay.